Like Persona 4 Golden, like that game does a ton of talking, and I also have to do a ton of talking on behalf of other characters. So there isn't necessarily always a lot of space to just insert myself. Also, some of the gameplay moments are just hard to talk through. Yeah. I basically a lot of the times I rely on other people. Okay, that must be the final boss. Let me slap on the demon sword. It's significantly weaker, but we have to be able to inflict damage to the boss. Okay. Yeah, regular chatting makes sense. Crispy, it does make sense. All right, so now we're going to fight. I don't know, whoever this is, the Guardian. But I am gonna go ahead and inflict poison, just so we can do a little bit of chip damage. Yeah, I rely on a lot of on people talking about different subject matters a lot because sometimes I can't always think of the most brilliant things to say. It's 8 damage to me. That really hurts. I'm gonna go ahead and heal 3 on Mori. Is that a Mori reference? Huh? I don't know. It's true. I don't get that a lot on my streams. Well, that's because it's always nice to see you. You know, because it's not always, it's not always something that people can expect. Which is to see you live on something or see you in an actual location. So part of it is the meme of being OMG Rise, and then the other part of it is just the fact that, it's spontaneous sometimes when you show up. English is my first language, although I tend to butcher it quite a bit. My R's and L's get mixed up a lot. That's been a big problem since 2021. It's probably because I talk like at 2.5 times speed at any given time. Alright, so fire on Mori. Okay, it missed completely, which is good. Oh no, I don't think any sort of argument's really happening in chat. Anyway, I have a ton of health plus potions, so we should be in good shape for this boss fight. I think after this, the game is done. Because we just need to go back to the goddess. Let's go ahead and use heal 3. I don't quite want to commit to the health plus potions yet. Oh man, yeah, no, people know that I was reading chat during Flowey. Like, I did not, like, I wasn't shy about it. My no-hit of Flowey, I was reading chat, like, all during it. Because it was first and foremost a stream. So, I wanted to engage with people. Now, for obvious reasons, I couldn't read chat during the actual phases themselves. Or during the finale. But every other part I could. Oh, no problem. I'll probably still be hacking away at this guy when you get back. 1 damage. Perfect. Just about 10,000 more of that. Okay, 5 damage. That's fine. Okay, Arth and Mori both have the Atari Lynx equipped as an accessory, so their damage output is a little bit better. I just want them to keep doing the regular swings, because they're not very strong, and they don't... Yeah, there we go. And they just save on a lot of animation time. So, I guess if you locked yourself out of getting a demon sword, the best you could get is getting one, which means you're going to be doing 0 damage a lot of your turns with your other characters. So this is thankfully going to save a little bit of time. Okay, we better heal her up. $122 is a good swing. $14 seems to be the poison limit in terms of damage to this boss. So it's good to just have that chipping away at him in the background for however many turns this fight is going to go on. It's absolutely worth it to cast it at the start. $24. I'm not going to start healing until they get below 100. Okay, still above 100. We're going to keep swinging. Okay, completely missed. I have no idea the guy's HP total, so hopefully, you know, we're starting to get close. It'd be better if I could just use the Excalibur because it's a stronger weapon. But nope, only the Demon Sword. Damage. Okay, so Derry needs to be healed. $31. Okay, 40 damage to me. We'll just heal it back up. It's okay if we run out of MP. We've got like tons of healing items. Okay, 116. 40. Mori, what are you doing? It's weird. It's always weird when your mage just hits circles around your characters on some rounds. Like, there's just so much damage variation. Okay, we've gotten like 3 consecutive turns where we've done over 100 damage with Arth. Okay, we're still fine. I'm gonna guess Mori's the target. Yup. 59 damage, we'll heal it back up. Does Mori have heal 3? Yes. We'll just use yours. That was a horrible round. We only did 14 damage. Okay, Arth is targeted, 69 damage. I'm gonna go ahead and use a health ++. We have more than enough resources to win this fight. I don't even need this many health ++s, but we have them anyway. Completely missed. 42. I'm not gonna heal. I'm gonna make the conscious decision to not heal Mori. Another hit to you, though, we'll probably use a health plus plus. Actually, no, we won't, because it's gonna be kind of a waste. We'll use a heal 3 if Mori takes another hit. I mean, if it's a huge hit, well... Oh, we're done. Never mind. I won't do any of that. Alright. 200 EXP, 5,000 gold. Alright, they're gonna make me walk. I am going to use a teleport item. So we're back to town. I think all we need to do now is talk to the goddess. We will save. Okay, so one thing for sure, um, that boss went down way easier than the old man. So I'm thinking the old man version of this fight actually cannot be destroyed in battle, no matter how much HP is inflicted. I think there's like some sort of a flag that might be set, and that's why I wasted 2.5 hours that one boss fight and got nowhere. Albeit it was with poison chip damage. But I know I did a lot more than I did in this fight. So let's see. I'm kind of curious if the old man is still there or if he's gone. In any event, for right now, let's go ahead and talk to the goddess. So we just need to make our way back. It's better than traveling up all those floors again. You can just hit me for whatever damage you want. We're just gonna walk there. Oh, cool. I'll have to heal the poison, unfortunately. I am excited that we're actually able to beat the game. This is early enough that I might still be able to switch to something else, like make a little bit more progress in P4, but we shall see. If I do switch, I'm not going to bother with the secondary countdown. The boss probably dropped gold. I guess if you wanted to do like hunts or something, like technically post game. There may not be like end credits, so to speak, but we'll find out. All right. Back to the oh, almost there. 3 steps. 3 steps. Talk to the goddess again. Oh, I still have the demon swords equipped, so that's why my damage output is a little, well, actually considerably lower. Quick to wake up Deary, just in case she's like, I'm the final boss, but I think the thread would have said something to that effect. Alright, time to save, and congratulations! You've proven yourself worthy. By law of nature, I will grant you your immortality, and you will return to your homes as my new guardians too. Be my voice for the next 1,000 years. Our story comes to a conclusion. The heroes defeated the Guardian and are given the reward of immortal strength. The goddess will expect your return 1,000 years from now. I think you can get rid of the A there. 1,000 years from now for the next trial. Our heroes return back to their homes to preach and rule in her name until time comes. Thank you for playing. It has been a long journey, but I enjoyed it. Right then. The end. And okay, just jump panned to the very, very end there. All right. So now we're back to the title screen. Well, that was Wyvern Tales. Guess it's time to review it. Let us start with the box. Actually, the very first thing I'm going to do is all of you have been troopers with listening to... Welcome back. I beat the game, Rise, so you're just in time for me to start my review discussion of this game. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and lower the volume a smidge, but I'm also going to record when my volume is at. So it's at 13.8, minus 13.8 decibels. We're going to lower it considerably to a lesser degree while I talk and exposit about Wyvern Tales. So, as I said at the beginning, nobody is going to be safe from my review of Wyvern Tales. So this game was made by Nomad Productions, but distributed via Songbird Productions. Their name is what appears on the box for Wyvern Tales. You have the front, you have the name, you have the bottom, you have the back artwork with the forthcoming lore, you have Songbird Productions logo again, that's over there. There's also, inside of the game, we have a nice little game manual that comes in. So, a couple of things. Number one, the game wasn't really secured when I got it. It was kind of rattling around inside of the box. I think there apparently is inside of here like a little cardboard holder to really kind of hold the game, but it's like not really very effective for holding it. So it does kind of rattle around a bit. Number two, and I've mentioned this before, this is the game manual. If you open it, lovely text. Very lovely. Bound upside down and backwards. So if you want to see the prologue, you've got to flip to the back, you got to hold it upside down, and read it. There you go. Excellent. Excellent work. Glad it went past place testing. And also, when I booted up the game for the very, very first time, and I went to load, there was a save on it. So I don't know if they went through like pre-production testing where they tested all copies to make sure it could hold a save, but normally if they do that, they're supposed to wipe it after. They didn't. Clearly, they didn't. There was a save on my brand new copy. So, in terms of... No, I bought this straight from Songbird. I bought this straight from Songbird Productions website. I didn't go through like any sort of eBay listing or any sort of secondary market. I bought it straight from the distributor themselves. Now this distributor prides itself on 20 plus years of being in the Atari business. They've sold not only for Lynx but for a variety of different consoles. Have to say, very shoddy production to have an upside down bound manual, to have part of the text on the back of the box with the license to Songbird at the very, very bottom, it actually bleeds to the bottom part of Wyvern Tales a little bit. Like it doesn't even fit all the way on the box. Plus the fact that my brand new game had an actual save on it, I feel it's like pretty shoddy workmanship to be distributing this game. Now, none of that should necessarily, affect my review of the game itself. That's all complaints with the distributor. I don't think that's fair to take out my complaints on the distributor, on the person who made the game. But I do think it is fair to take it out on the distributor because they are clearly responsible for their own workmanship, and they clearly didn't do any sort of background checking. They clearly didn't take one look at the manual because anybody who opened it up is going to realize we bound this thing upside down and backwards, and anybody who tested the card is going to realize we didn't clear the save whenever we sent out this game. Or maybe it was a secondary game that they got, like maybe it was a return that they got and then they just resold. I don't know. I really don't know, although it would explain why it rattled so much when I got it. But anyway, the actual game itself, Wyvern Tales is basically its main selling point, if it's going to have one at all, is being the only JRPG that was ever released on the Atari Lynx. Now, it's not an actual game that was released back within the Atari Lynx's life cycle, which would have been late 80s, early 90s. It was actually a game that was formulated in like the early 2010s and then released somewhere mid to late in the 2010s as far as their release. And then they've had like various successive re-releases for subsequent versions of this game. As far as a JRPG, it really fails at being one. It has the encounters, it has the random elements, it has the townspeople, it has the equipment, it has a lot of these things that seem to emulate a lot of the JRPGs you've played, like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. But it fundamentally falls apart at the most essential aspect of a JRPG. The reason you go through all of that grinding, the reason you go through all of the gold getting, it's for the purpose of feeling more powerful. That's always what JRPGs have been about at their core. You go through all of this trouble because you want to gain strength. You want to become the most powerful version that you can be because you need to take on stronger and stronger enemies as the game progresses. And this game has wild damage formulas. I've never seen anything like this before in my entire life. I played games with all sorts of damage fluctuations. I played the original Final Fantasy many different times, and your fighter can swing at somebody for a non-critical for 1 and a critical for 97. That's very different from this game. Your mage character with default equipment can beat a level 15 fighters with the best sword that they have access to, damage equipment, damage output, if the game feels like it. Your mage can hit circles around you. Enemies can hit you for like 10 damage at level 1 or 10 damage at level 33. There's no logic to how this game, at least that I can visibly tell, calculates any sort of damage output. You never, until you get access to equipment at the bar that you can grind money for, you don't feel more powerful. That's when you first start to notice the numbers really starting to rise. Rise reference is when you start going to these towns and shopkeeping and buying this powerful equipment. And I don't think that should necessarily dictate whether you have good characters or not, solely based on your equipment. And even having access to that equipment, your mage can still outdamage you. Like my mage with the demon sword was still doing less damage than Arthur the warrior dude with an Excalibur, which is the best weapon in terms of damage output, and the Atari Lynx equipped, which is a cute haha little Easter egg accessory that does significant damage input, output increase as well as HP increase. So it bothered me that at its core, it really fundamentally failed to really cater to that aspect. Fighting enemies and doing hunts, those are all fine. I don't necessarily mind that the game becomes repetitive with, needing to grind gold, running back and forth and fighting enemies. I'm used to that aspect of JRPGs, and that doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's fun to have your brain be able to turn off while you're doing some of these things, because if your brain is turned off, your mental defenses are lowered, you're better able to judge the game for what it is, you run into less little, frustrating moments with the game. But it does bother me considerably that the game does end up having a lot of the performance issues. You don't have any character classes. That would have been cool if we could have changed Arth, Derry, or Mori's classes to have explored different options. Everybody basically gets the same equipment pool, the same item pool, the same spell pool. There's really, other than like the innate, differences in terms of stats, there's no difference. But because the damage calculations are bonkers anyway, it doesn't really matter what distinct differences they have, because you can still take more damage as your fighter than you may take as a mage one round, or you may dish out more damage as a mage than your fighter can dish out one round. It's all complete arbitrary nonsense, and no JRPG experience should be like that. So while the tagline is or the selling point is it's the big first major, really only at this point, JRPG on the Atari Lynx, I reject that as a premise. I don't really feel like it is a JRPG in that particular aspect. It emulates the towns, it emulates the random encounters. It does have some fun little hunt items sprinkled throughout the game, but I don't think it's enough to make it rise to anything passable for me. So as far as my final score for this game, when I first played this game, I was thinking I was probably going to give the game like a 30 or a 35. I've since come around to that. That's way too low of a score. But that being said, the game's going to probably hit a solid 45 for me. No more, no less. It probably would have taken a bigger hit if we actually were soft locked with the Demon Sword. Fun fact, for those who are, because I'm going to post this review section separately from the entire playthrough part of this part 4. Fun fact, I looked at the thread that said I had to have a demon sword, and you couldn't buy any after hunt number 30, and I reset the entire game, well, up to 1/3 of it, to redo all of it, and only to find out that there was a demon sword in the last dungeon. That was never talked about in the thread, and so I deleted everything for nothing. So, had there not been at least one pity demon sword, then this could have been a completely different, tone towards being soft locked at the very end. But I played myself. That's nobody else's fault but my own. So the game doesn't deserve hate for my own choice. Although I do think only having one weapon to damage the boss is kind of annoying. I would prefer a weapon swing to like disable bosses' defenses, like something like Shining Force might do, or something of that particular nature, and then everybody can start dealing damage. But only being able to damage with one weapon, not great, in my opinion. Anyway, Wyvern Tales, those are my onions about the game. So we are done. I'm locking the game back up in its nice little Songbird case that is full of flaws. And it is the lowest game of 2024. Worst game, unfortunately. So, sorry. There always has to be a worse game, and this one's the worst. But so far, it looks like Sword of Hyjia is on pace to be the best game of 2024 at this particular rate, with its astonishing 90 score. So, we'll see. We'll see what the rest of the year holds out for us. We have to finish Persona 4 Golden. And I think I'm done early enough. I could probably load a little bit of gameplay of that and then come back for an evening stream. I might do that. I am going to have to disconnect this TV and rehook up the other TV. So, yeah, if people want to give me 10 minutes, it's going to give me enough time to, like, stretch for water, all the other stuff I'm going to have to do. But we're done with Wyvern Tales. I'm going to put this game back, and I'm going to put the Atari Lynx adapter back. We are done with all of that. Alright, thanks everybody, and I'll see some of you for maybe, I don't know, like 40-50 minutes more of gameplay before I call it. But thanks everyone. For those who are done or just came here to see Wyvern Tales, have a good rest of your day, and for everyone else, see you in about 10 minutes. Bye!